in my heart. Point away to Arkansas and throw me like a dart. Bathe me up in lithium, God knows I need a friend. In a hot spring, new dream, well, start another band, play it, boys.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're coming to you from the garage today, and I wanted to talk to you about instant read thermometers and why you need to be cooking with one. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please do it now. It'd mean a lot to me and it helps our channel grow. So guys, this is my favorite tool in my cooking arsenal. It's the instant read thermometer, and if you're not using one, you really should be. It's going to take your cooking to another level. They range from 22 bucks on Amazon all the way up to over 100 bucks, but I'm here to tell you that 22 bucks gets the job done, and it's gonna make you a better cooker. I've got a couple of different brands here. I've got the Inkbird that I bought a long time ago, and I've used this guy for a lot of years, and it's really inexpensive, but it does the job. And I just picked up one from Yoder Smokers that I got as part of a kit with my Yoder smoker. So I thought it'd be fun to tell you about the differences between these two particular units, and more importantly, drive home the fact that you need an instant read thermometer. Don't try to do it without. Just be accurate and get the best cooked food, especially steak, that you can possibly get. So let's check them out and see what we think. So we're gonna start with my old faithful that I've been using for years, and this is the Inkbird, is the brand. And you can get this guy on Amazon, and I'll leave that link in the description to help you find it. But it's just an Inkbird instant read thermometer, and this guy is literally like 22 bucks. It doesn't cost anything, and it's very simple to use, has very easy to use features, and I'm going to go through those with you right now. This guy is actually so cheap and so useful that I'll keep a couple of them around the kitchen to make sure I always have one, number one, if I misplace it. But number two, a lot of times I give them out as gifts to guests that I'll have over, and all the cooking that I do, I literally use this. It's part of every cook. And so the first feature that I'm going to point out to you is its plastic construction. To turn it on, you literally just pull the needle out and it comes on. My favorite thing about this particular unit is that there are no batteries. I hate batteries. This guy uses a USB-C. I'm not going to be able to get a good picture of it, but it uses a USB-C, and you just plug it in. And I'm going to be honest with you, all the cooking that I do, I don't think I've even charged this thing one time, so it lasts forever. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this guy on, and basically it comes on and it's backlit. And one of the features that I'm going to show you guys here is it has auto off. You're going to notice pretty quickly that this guy will go to a dim screen to conserve battery, and then it'll turn itself off. If it's turned itself off, the way you get it back on, just shut the needle and pull it back out, and you're back in business. Now, it's got one button on it, literally. That's the only thing to this thing. And if you push and hold down the button, what it does is converts it to Celsius. And so this guy reads temperatures as low as -58 degrees Fahrenheit and as high as 650 degrees Fahrenheit. And the other thing you see on the LED here is just that's just the battery, is all that is right there. And so it's getting to where I need to charge it. But super cool unit. Very simple. One of the cool things that I like about it is it's actually magnetic on the back. And so I hang this just literally on the side of the barbecue pit, or I'll put it maybe up on my knife thing on the wall. It just is very simple to use. I like it a lot, and it's super cheap. And so, you know, Thermopens and these other brands, they're cool, and I'm sure they're very well made, but 22 bucks, and it does everything that you need. And I would challenge the other guys. I'd put them up against this probably any day. I've just had really good luck out of this guy. The next product that we're going to look at is Yoder Smokers branded instant read thermometer. So I bought my Yoder smoker. If you've been watching my channel, I bought a Yoder smoker not too long back, and I bought it as a kit, and it came with a cover. It came with like stainless shelves, and it actually, this was in the kit. that it came with. So I checked them out online. You can actually buy these by themselves at yodersmokers.com, and they're about $60 is what they get retail for these things. And I'm assuming you'd probably have to pay shipping on top of that. And so it puts this thermometer at about 3 times of what you had to pay for the Inkbird. Right off the bat, that's a pretty big downside in my opinion for what you get. But looking at it, it's good construction. It's a heavier plastic probably than the Inkbird, and it's kind of a round construction. It fits easily in the hand, kind of like that. It's got an eyelet instead of the magnet. I definitely like the magnet better to stick on the side of the barbecue pit, but I guess you could hang this on a hook or something like that. The eyelet and the ends of it are rubberized. I guess if you were to drop it, it would stand up a little better, but it's not rubberized on this side. So I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, the biggest downside to this, in my opinion, is it's got batteries, 2 AA batteries, rather than charging it with a cellular wire charge. I like that a lot better. I cannot stand managing batteries. I never have them when I need them. But let's move on. Similar to the Inkbird, the way that you turn it on is just by opening the needle, and it turns it on. And it's got nice big display. I like that. And basically, it's got one button on it as well, except for it's on the back. This button does a few different things on this unit. If I open it and I press it once, you see it turn on that little clock down in the bottom left-hand corner. And basically what that does is that allows me to shut it, and it stays on, and apparently it stays on for like 10 minutes or something like that. And if I don't use it again, it'll turn itself off. And then if I press the button once, it turns the unit off. And so I guess it's kind of like a power save, but kind of keeps it ready in action. I don't know that that's all that useful. Just open the needle and it comes on. So big deal? I don't know. I don't think so. Now, the other thing that you can do, if I press and hold the button on the back, it just changes it 180 degrees is what it does. That's kind of cool. I do like that. I don't know how much I would use that there again, but you could do it if you want to. And then if you want to change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius, and I've got the little clock on there, so I'm going to press it to turn it off. I'm pressing the button as I open it, okay? It comes up in Celsius. So that's how you change it. I don't know if that's as intuitive as just pressing that button and holding it to change it to Celsius, but that's how you change it to Celsius. If I want to change it back, I have to shut it. The clock is on, so I got to turn it off, press and hold the button again, and then open it, and I'm back to Fahrenheit. So pretty cool. I mean, it's got some features that this doesn't have. This guy, you have to shut the needle and turn it back on, and so maybe it's got a couple of features, but I don't know that they're really usable features, certainly not 3 times the cost. Now, something else that I saw on the back that was pretty cool. I don't know if you can read that, but that's kind of useful. It's telling me, basically, if you can't read that, it's telling me what rare, medium, and well done temperatures are for. It's got beef, veal, lamb, pork, poultry, and ground. I like that because I can't ever remember, and I wind up having to Google. So it would be cool if Inkbird would put something like that on the back there. But that's really all that there is to it. Now, as far as using a instant read thermometer, I'll give you a couple of tips as well. And so let's go ahead and hold it down to the back. I guess this is useful for this purpose here. So I'll hold it down to the back. Well, actually, it's not that useful. So let's flip it back over here. Basically, the very tip of this needle is where you're getting your temperature reading. And so just this little section right here is what you need to get to the center of your steak or whatever you're cooking. And so basically, if you're cooking a steak and it's big, thick steak, let me use this one. It'll work a little better for the camera here. If it's a big, thick steak, you literally can insert it from the side and get this little guy here to the center of the steak, and it's going to give you a good accurate reading to the center of the steak. If you're cooking a thinner piece of meat, a lot of times I'll go in from the top at an angle to hit the center. But you have to be real careful that this guy is in the center and that you're not pushing it all the way through the steak and then getting the reading from the hottest part of the pit down there by the fire. So make sure that you take it just to the center, and that's really all that you have to do. But it's going to change your game. If you hadn't been using these and you've been guessing and you've been poking your hand and kind of doing all that kind of stuff, you're really just guessing at what you're going to wind up with. If you're doing the timing method, man, it's still just guessing, right? Because your steaks are different thicknesses and you're just not that accurate. So invest $22. For me, I'm buying the Inkbird. If I had to do it again, I'm buying the Inkbird all day long. It's cheap, and you ought to have it in your kitchen, man. And it will revolutionize the way that you're doing things. All right, guys, so we cooked a test steak to test out the thermometers, and I apologize for the crude recording tonight, but we had a little discrepancy with the instant thermometers. The Yoder is reading 140 plus. The Inkbird is reading it right at 130, as is the Yoder thermometer that's on the pellet grill. So I cooked this ribeye. This is Booth Creek Wagyu beef. So this is a really good piece of steak here. I did this on the pellet smoker at about 275 for about 30-40 minutes and brought it up to about 110-ish. Pulled it off, cranked the Yoder up all the way up, and then I grilled it. And I think what we need to do is cut it open and see what it looks like on the inside and see which thermometer we think is right. So here we go. This is definitely a medium rare piece of meat. As you can see, we've got a pretty good, I cooked it a little hotter than I normally do because I wanted it to get done, but we've got a pretty good edge to edge. And so I'm inclined to believe that the Inkbird and the Yoder thermometers are correct, and the actual Yoder instant temperature thermometer is incorrect, is my inclination. But anyway, thought I'd bring you some live examples, and we're gonna eat this steak and see what it's all about. All right, guys, so for a test piece of beef, we just did this to test the instant thermometers. And I gotta tell you, this is Booth Creek Wagyu. This is a little ribeye without the cap. It's absolutely delicious and makes an awesome little midnight snack. Whoa, dude, don't get hurt. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Please like and subscribe and ring the bell, and we'll catch you on the next one.